Every scene he has to be a dick before the scene ends. And the same with Kerala. It's like, wait, is the scene still on me? All right, hang on. We'll kill you all. Okay, good. Yeah, you check. You did your evil for the scene. Hey, Internet. It's Paul. It's Matt. The Dork Lords. We are here talking about The Expanse, the Season 5 finale, Nemesis Games, named for the book after which much of this season is based. We open with Holden on the Rocinante. He's realizing he's being hunted by 5 ships. This is the Marco Inaros hunting party that includes Drummer and her crew/family. So Holden, Bull, and Monica know they can't win this fight. They're totally outgunned, but they're going to fight anyway to buy time for Bobby and Alex to save Naomi. So that's how we open.
Yes.
We end with a Martian ship captained by Sauveterre. It's the guy that Alex served under back in the day. And he's heading through a ring gate when the ship and all the people aboard get destroyed by the enemy of the proto-molecule civilization. This is just as Holden warned earlier in the season. He's like, every time people go through ring gates, I get the sense that the enemy is getting angrier. So it reaches a boiling point and kaploom. But we also do see in the closing credits this giant floating platform. We'll talk about this, but off the planet Laconia, like coming to life, probably using proto-molecule tech. And so that's like leading into next season. Anyway, so very exciting finale. Before we launch into other discussions, good sir, what did you think of the finale to season 5?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was certainly interesting, the loss of Cass and Alex. They did it as well as they could have, but, I think if they really had intended that way to end it, it would have been slightly smoother.
Oh, sure.
Although it's funny. It's like, because you didn't have the sort of scenes where, in a way, I guess you could argue that him saying goodbye to his family, although he didn't resolve anything with his family.
Nope.
It's like, it was terrible. It's sort of like, clearly his son does not want to spend time with him, although he's being more polite than his ex-wife or whatever. It was like, just pissed.
Well, you could play it. You could switch it into this idea of that family certainly was a main theme of this season, maybe generally of the series as a whole, but this season in particular, in that Naomi and Amos in particular go to revisit their old families, and then kind of come to the realization that their current family is the Rocinante. Maybe in the same way Alex, you could say, he tried to revisit his old family, didn't work out, and so then he ends up sacrificing himself for his current family. So maybe that way it does fit.
Yeah, but the scene with Naomi and Phil, where he smacks her, has far more resounding sort of, okay, that's it.
Oh, right.
You don't have it. It's not a comparable scene. For
and
Alex,
Amos seeing the ravaged Earth disappearing beneath him as he leaves on a spaceship.
Yes. And he had several scenes where it's like he is remembering scenes with
his mentor.
Several scenes there where he could think about her as was going on. So it felt more complete.
You're absolutely right. The Alex revisiting his past storyline was pretty thin. It was like he shows up at a door, gets it closed. Okay, well, but So
I wonder if I'll have to ask my friend who knows the books.
Okay.
Not us, never.
Fair enough. We were actually somebody, a commenter named Gil, kind of sarcastically put in there, you could just read the books.
I don't think we can.
Which I don't think we can. No, that's very true, Gil. You're right. We could, but you know what? And as I put in the comment,
welcome to the Illiterate Podcast.
The Illiterate Podcast. I just point out, I do admittedly, I enjoy trying to theory craft the story, and so it is actually fun for me to try to guess where they were headed. Because we were right on a few things. Delgado's still alive, but only because he didn't show up in this, get ready, season 6. Delgado's coming. But anyway, some other things, we got right. I mean...
Delgado was probably sitting there, like, Come on, Avasarala, tell my joke. Come on,
Ask
me about my joke. Save my life.
Save my life, damn it. But, for instance, we were theorizing like, hey, are they going to be able to do the macro story since they're talking, it was like Save Naomi was such a big deal. Will they have time to show the proto-molecule and the ring gate issue? And so we had mentioned a few episodes back, like, well, maybe it's just like an end season stinger. Like, hey, and by the way, remember, there's a larger world out there and things are happening. And so that's kind of what they did, right? The last 5 minutes, we get introduced to Laconia through one of the ring gates, and the Martians are populating it and turning on all the proto-molecule tech. And then we get this issue with the ring gate. One of the Martian ships goes through a ring gate and gets destroyed. So we were right about that. You were correct in guessing perhaps that the way that Naomi would try to escape would just be basically do another spacewalk. Put the suit on and head out. Which, by the way, considering she's 2 for 2 in low survivable probability spacewalks. So get a lottery ticket because.
Among the things that believable medical advancements, this second one was not, as dangerous as the first.
Right. Jumping completely open to
she
exposure.
She have to remember to expel the oxygen out of her lungs.
Right. Get ready to do that shot. Hope I still have functionality in my limbs to be able to give myself that shot.
And I really liked her basically doing, a TikTok video in order to communicate to them.
Oh, right. Yeah. And luckily, Alex knows Belter emergency sign language.
Yes, he does, yeah.
And so he picks up the fact that she's basically saying, like, hey, don't go near the ship. It's going to explode. I'm running out of air. Yeah. It would be nice if you could show up and save me. No breath. Why are you still reading this? Please come save me now. Anyway, yes, Bobby to the rescue.
Yes.
Yeah, basically gives her oxygen just in time as she's fading out. We see it's a little it is off-putting because she's spinning, and so you see the star field in the background just going past her, and you're like, ooh. I can imagine just like, oh boy, if you were in that moment, So, just going back to your point about how they handled Alex, so it made sense, right?
Yeah.
He's going to leave the show. Either he leaves the show between seasons, or hey, by the way, he's in a life or death situation in the last episode. Let's just flip the switch to death. So it is. It is abrupt. He has a stroke.
Yes.
While the camera is focused on Bobby and Naomi, and we kind of come back to see that he's dead. They CGI'd in some blood on a scene that otherwise I think was just him sitting in the chair. Considering they must have done this on the fly, they did a good job at. Think of all the scenes they had to reshoot. I'm sure, like for instance, that scene when they have the party at Avasarala, he's there. They had to reshoot that. They had to shoot everybody gets a very short goodbye homage to Alex. So they had to shoot all those things again. They had to bring everybody back for those shots. And they looked like they were part of this. It didn't look like a weird thing where suddenly, hey, I lost my beard and I'm standing in an amorphous hallway. And like, no, they actually looked like they were in these places. And so the work they did to say goodbye to Alex, I thought was actually really well done. So abrupt, his death was abrupt, and like, okay. But the actual handling of the goodbye, I thought was, considering the timing they had to use to do it, I thought was pretty well done.
One thing though, I think that I don't know if I wanted more, but once they were all together, the remnants of the Rocinante. Well, I guess you could say, though, there's a reason why it kind of felt kind of hollow, the way they were sort of like, this is what we want. We want to get Belters and humans and, Martians together, and this is how we'll win.
This is how we'll win. Yeah.
Well, you can think that, but
get ready.
Get ready, because they haven't begun to smack you in the face.
To the show's credit, it does feel like that's the end. Hey, we saved Naomi. We're all back on Luna. The end of the season. Okay, this is how we're going to win, everybody. And then, nope. They've got this thing where, by the way, Marco isn't dead. He's still out there. And so he, and with the help of the Martian ships, takes over control of the ring gate. And we see that Medina Station, which is in on the other side of the ring, actually shoots back at the ships guarding the ring. So Medina Station's on board with Marco, and we learn that the Martians were up on helping Marco in return for the proto-molecule, and they had the scientist that they mentioned earlier in the season. And so proto-molecule and scientist and a bunch of Martians are now through a different ring gate. They found a planet, Laconia. As I say, we've turned on the tech. So they're going to be, obviously playing with fire a bit because they've got this enemy civ that doesn't like what they're doing, but they're doing their thing. And it's kind of the idea
with all of that, though, it's so funny. It's like at the end of it, you have to suspect like Earth is going to be like, wow, we had that terrible attack, but at least all our, the Belters ended up screwing up. I mean, and the Martians are doing this crazy stuff with them. In the end, the Earth still wins.
Well, it does occur to me, like, I get the idea that maybe these Martians, with all this improved tech, they could be hostile. They could come back and attack you. You might upset this enemy civ, and they destroy everything to do with the ring gates or something like that. But there's got to be at least a thought of like, well, let them go. I mean, gee, okay. Our enemies are no longer in our solar system. Okay. Goodbye. Enjoy trying to deal with enemy civilization that has nothing to do with us. There's got to be at least some thought of like, good riddance. Okay. You're gone now.
Especially from Avasarala, whose big message that led to her loss was, let's be cautious.
Right.
Let's not jump to these new planets so quick.
Yeah. Because
we have to hope that there's enough of the Earth's population to be. Can everybody get? Okay, everybody's here. 500-600 people. Okay, I told you so.
I told you so. Well, because in other words, the other option is like, oh my God, we've got to go stop them. Okay, why? Wait, what? We're going to lose a bunch of ships trying to attack them to stop them from doing this thing? Just let them go. I mean, anyway, but I think the idea too is, from their standpoint, that Mars has become obsolete. Just the amount of effort required to keep it habitable. It's like, geez, there's a habitable planet just through that gate.
I think
let's
there's
just go there.
100-year goal of habitizing it, I guess.
Okay.
That they're just never gonna, it's like, oh my God, or go to another planet now.
Right, just whoop. So it, in their mind, they're like, geez, let's just cut bait and head out to Laconia. Holden making this big sacrifice. A lot of people sacrificing themselves for their friends, right?
Yeah.
And in fact, that's what Amos says at the end is his little goodbye to Alex. It's like, hey, he went out sacrificing himself for his family. There's almost no better way to go out. So that's what Holden's going to do. Hey, we're going to just die fighting, die with our boots on, and try to give these time to save Naomi. And so it's that directive. He lets Alex and Bobby know, I'm about to commit suicide to help you guys, so please save Naomi. That's what inspires Alex to, even though it's really difficult, to try to pull this mission off, and hence he strokes out. But yeah, so that battle sequence is interesting. As we thought, the only way to save him is Drummer, and it's Drummer who decides, screw this, I'm done.
Yeah.
Mid-battle, she turns the tables.
Yeah, and she paid a price. The end of
big price, man, huge price actually.
Yeah.
First of all, Surge, remember her crew / family gets spaced by Marco in retaliation, and then her family fractures, and they're like, some of them are like, and it plus
she tries to, quite logically, she's not going to be any better off without Drummer. Around like, oh yeah, I want to attack Drummer. Like, oh, we're good attacking you too. Like now that you're separated. Like, we've got plenty of
they're all hunted now, so they've got huge targets on their backs, and she's got a smaller crew and I guess one ship now, and I don't know what her future dictates, but she's obviously still friends with the Rocinante, and she's got support there if she wants it.
Right.
But at the moment, she's kind of on her own, essentially, and being hunted by Marco. Yeah, so that space battle looks really cool. It's engaging. It's tense. Kerala gets killed off, kind of accidentally. I think they're just trying to stun her, hit her over the head.
You're right.
But she dies. And
she's,
so I was,
she's who you should have married.
yeah, I know. Well, yeah, it's a little.
She was
I feel it's
really,
a little cheating sometimes to mat the evil folks, because usually the evil folks more likely to die. But Marco
she
survived.
certainly was mustache twirly. She was oh man, they should have shown at least one scene of her and Naomi being friends, so you can believe it.
You're right. There are certain characters like that in different shows where I used to joke about this in Game of Thrones, where it's like Joffrey. Every scene they showed him, he had to be a dick. Yeah. Even if it was just like, I'm eating dinner. I mean, you could just have him, whatever, petting a cat. Just like, but no, it's like every scene he has to be a dick before the scene ends. And the same with Kerala. It's like, wait, is the scene still on me? All right, hang on. We'll kill you all. Okay, good. Yeah, you check. You did your evil for the scene. So yes.
It's like that pet must die. You're gonna kill that pet? No, you're going to kill.
You're going to kill that pet.
I will watch.
Jeez. I thought it was interesting. Maybe I'm reading more into it than is there. But so at the end, Marco's men are all chanting his name, like Marco and Aros.
Yes.
And Philip is sitting with him. But Philip isn't doing the chanting.
Right.
I mean, you see his face, he's quiet. He's contemplative.
Yes.
Huh. Like, he's not, I don't know. He's not that impressed with his dad, I guess, or something, or in that moment, or
I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, he might be. I think the fact that they registered a difference in his behavior and Marco called it out, is definitely pointing to that there's still some room for his character to progress. I mean, I guess, considering all the effort, I mean, either he'll have some dying moment. Where he can make amends to his mother, or
Well, I think too, over time he'll reflect back on that comment that his mom made this season, which was he won't die for you, but he'll make you die for him.
Yeah.
And so I think maybe that fact that maybe in that moment he thinks, my dad's kind of in this for himself. Like, this isn't a Belters, it's more of a look at me, I'm awesome. Please praise me. And so maybe there's a little bit of that. I don't know. Anyway, but it was just an interesting note of like, he's not cheering and he's not smiling. He's kind of like, yep, okay, we did the thing. Obviously, this isn't so much of an Amos' story kind of wrapped up before this, but he does have a goodbye moment with Eric.
Yes.
And it seems pretty final to me of like, all right, that my past is done. Because Eric invites him like, hey, we could go to a new planet. You could help me set this thing up, start a new gang, essentially. He's like, the Rocinante's docking. I'm just gonna go there. Yeah. So thanks. But then it's a great scene where he becomes a lawyer. I don't know, like he puts Holden into a logic trap.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, not for nothing. Just you and I talking here. No one else around. But remember that time when you were gonna kill me, but you didn't? Yeah. But you were gonna kill me, yeah? Yeah, I was. Okay, great. Anyway, here's Clarissa. All right. Anyway.
You're not gonna kill her, right? Come on. She tried to kill you, but
she tried to kill you, but now she's not. Just like you tried to not kill me. Now, okay, we're fine. Everybody thinks it's all equal. So those two situations are exactly synonymous.
Off, and then she gets deer in the headlights in front of him. And then he says, "No, come on, it's fine. No."
Yeah, no, it's fine. So he's like, she'll be traveling with us for a while. I assume she's basically a season 6 cast Rocinante crew member.
Yeah.
And maybe also Bull. Maybe Bull will replace Alex in a way.
Yeah, I can see that.
So Naomi, we were trying to theorize what the hell the banging on the pipes was about.
Yes.
She wasn't trying to get water. She was trying to open a valve. That's what puts the ship into a spin, and that makes it. In her, she's hoping. It makes it impossible to dock. But Alex is like, we'll do this anyway. No. Damn it!
Yeah.
She like, brave idiots. Or something
I guess, she really feels bad for that. I guess if it hadn't been for that, they might have just like, let's go, let's dock, boom! So
right. Yeah, exactly.
Even though it kills...
right, the strain supposedly kills Alex in that moment. Yeah. Pick your death. Yeah.
Yeah. Bobby survived. and so did she would have been dead too, obviously. So,
but you're right. Naomi feels guilty because
Yeah.
Alex sacrificed himself to save her, and but she's dealing with the grief with her family, so she'll probably manage to recover from that. It's an interesting. I like the scene where she plays her goodbye message in front of Holden. Holden never played it because like, I'm not playing it yet. You're still alive,
yes,
you know. And so they listen to her goodbye message together, which is kind of a cool. I like that notion.
Yeah, they really paid off because he definitely, we didn't. I don't think we as an audience was certain that he never listened to it. I think we could have assumed maybe that when we weren't watching, like when he was sort of calling up, that he may have went and listened to it, and then we would have heard. Not that we thought she would have died, but we might have heard that again, and that was a good way to do it, to have...
Agreed. I thought it was a great choice.
Them listening together, because I don't feel like we see that a lot. I mean, I guess most of the time maybe it would be a letter that someone reads, or they have someone read a letter or something.
And you hear their voice.
It's not the same thing, I think, as having it play, and then...
Right, because it's also something that she wouldn't have been able to say in person, perhaps, as easily, and so here it is, she said it, so they're going to play it, and then she's there to witness it, and they can witness it together, and the pressure's off because she's not dead. So and luckily it wasn't like a, hey, by the way, here are 3 things I did to screw you over. Now that there's no chance I'll ever come back to tell you. First, Oh, I mean, don't play that part. Yeah, right. Could you fast forward through the? I think it was a risk. Hey, we got our crew. We're going to separate them for the season. But I think it paid off. I think it worked. I can imagine a scenario where separating your crew that you want to see together all the time doesn't work. But I felt like actually it worked very well, and now they've come back, and we assume that season 6.
And the person I guess you could argue had the least to do, which is Holden, who you could say he certainly benefited from being a focus through most of the series.
Right.
But here he was sort of
You're right.
in reactive mode,
Yep.
trying to figure things out and wanting to rescue people and not really get a chance to do it. But
you're right. It really was not his story. This season was not his story for sure.
Yeah, but I think it was a good. I felt it was believable when he was telling her, how much faith he had in her, and he didn't feel as if wow, if only you told me what you were dealing with or whatever. He wanted to give. He had confidence, of faith in the choices she was going to make, even if they. She had to make that bet even if it didn't pay off. So,
yeah, no, I agree. I thought the emotional beats were all earned.
Yeah.
It felt as a satisfying end, and you get that feeling of it does set you up quite well for events to come in season 6. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it'll probably be a year or so, but. When season 6 rolls back around, a very strong entry in the Expanse this season in general. So thumbs up to the Expanse, and the quality very high for this show. That was the Expanse. We'll be back talking about season 6 when that comes around. But in the meantime, WandaVision episode 5 has dropped, so we're going to be talking about that.
Yes.
Thank you as always, good sir.
Certainly.
And we'll talk soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.